Hello, treasure hunters and mystery enthusiasts. Welcome to another episode of The Curious Mind, where we explore the fascinating world of puzzles, ciphers, and treasure hunts. I'm your host, Sable, and today we're diving into the symbolic universe of John Collins Black's There's Treasure Inside Treasure Hunt. If you haven't heard of JCB's hunt yet, you're in for a treat. Following in the footsteps of famous treasure hunts like Forrest Fenn's, John Collins Black has created something truly extraordinary, a multi-layered quest with multiple treasure boxes scattered across various locations. But what makes this hunt particularly fascinating is its intricate use of symbolism. You know, it's interesting, JCB was actually once a searcher himself. He spent considerable time hunting for Forrest Fenn's famous treasure chests before creating his own. During those searches, he discovered markings on rocks that he believed might have been the blaze mentioned in Fenn's poem. Years later, these experiences shaped his approach to his own hunt, including how he incorporates symbols. So what makes JCB's approach to symbolism so special? For one, he doesn't just use symbols as decorative elements, they're essential components of the clues themselves. Take the omega symbol, for instance. This appeared in Forrest Fenn's book, The Thrill of the Chase, and many hunters believe it plays a significant role in JCB's hunt too. In one of his poem lines, JCB mentions a white mark upon the seat, which some interpret as a reference to these omega symbols. But the symbolic richness goes much deeper. The lion's share box features an illustration of a tree with roots forming Arabic numerals, which hunters have discovered relates to the Fibonacci sequence. Meanwhile, the Bitcoin puzzle box requires hunters to convert lines from a Shakespearean sonnet into hexadecimal. That's right. JCB integrates both classical literature and modern technology into his symbolic system. Pretty mind-blowing, isn't it? Then there's the recurring theme of marble, which appears repeatedly in his accompanying book. Is he referring to marble as a material, suggesting quarries or locations with marble structures? Could it be marbles as toys, suggesting childhood connections? Or perhaps it's about the symbolic qualities of marble itself, strength, beauty, permanence. This deliberate ambiguity is classic JCB, encouraging hunters to consider multiple interpretations. The visual elements of the hunt are just as important as the written clues. Some hunters have even suggested that the background colors in JCB's YouTube interviews might contain hidden clues. The Appalachian Trail box requires hunters to match a stylized map to the actual terrain of Vermont. And each treasure chest contains artifacts that serve not just as prizes, but as symbolic reinforcements of the hunt's themes, like the first edition of Forrest Fenn's book in the Rocky Mountain box, or the Picasso coins in the Past and Future box. What I find particularly fascinating is how JCB weaves these symbols into a coherent narrative. There's the parable theory, proposed by some hunters, suggesting that JCB uses pop culture references as parables containing lessons about the hunt. Ready Player One, teaching teamwork, Dungeons and Dragons, illustrating strategic thinking, and Pac-Man, emphasizing persistence. Then there's the unbreakable thread mentioned in JCB's book title, which many connect to Ariadne's thread from Greek mythology, the thread that helped Theseus navigate the labyrinth. It suggests that JCB views his treasure hunt as a kind of labyrinth with an unbreaking thread of logic that, if followed correctly, will lead to the treasure. Of course, he's not above throwing in some red herrings to keep things interesting. The Picasso's blue period clue was described as a brilliant red herring that sent searchers on a wild goose chase. These intentional dead ends actually intensify engagement by creating unresolved questions that continue to occupy hunters' minds. What's truly special about JCB's approach is how it fosters community. The ambiguity and layered nature of the symbols encourage collaboration and discussion. Different perspectives yield new interpretations, and sometimes participants need to cooperate to progress. One treasure box might contain hints for another, creating a network of symbolic connections that no single hunter can easily unravel alone. This has led to vibrant communities like the Mysterious Writings Discord server, where hunters share theories, debate interpretations, and even debunk false leads. The symbolic richness of JCB's hunt serves not just as an intellectual challenge, but as a social catalyst, bringing together individuals with diverse skills and perspectives.
In the end, the true genius of JCB's treasure hunt lies in its recognition that symbolism itself is a kind of treasure, a system of meaning that enriches our experience of the world. The physical treasures, the gold, jewels, rare Pokemon cards, 96-carat emerald, items connected to Pablo Picasso and Amelia Earhart, and even Bitcoin, become symbols themselves, representing the culmination of the journey. For participants, the value extends far beyond material prizes. It's about developing new skills, forming communities, experiencing moments of insight, and ultimately, discovering aspects of themselves. As one hunter so beautifully put it, the most valuable treasures aren't always physical things. It's the knowledge, the skills, the friendships you build along the way. So whether you're an experienced puzzle solver or just curious about the world of treasure hunting, JCB's hunt reminds us that the world itself is filled with symbols waiting to be deciphered, that there's treasure inside everyday experiences for those who learn to see beyond the surface. That's all for today's episode of Hidden Meanings. If you're inspired to learn more about JCB's treasure hunt, I've included some resources in the show notes. Until next time, keep searching, keep questioning, and remember, sometimes the journey itself is the greatest treasure of all.